What's up guys, welcome to Bake It with AJ. I'm AJ and today a super special decadent treat. We have raspberry black cocoa whoopie pies. Oh my god guys, these are so easy and so quick, but when I tasted these I was shook. So the recipe can be found using the link in the description. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can join me every week for new episodes of Bake It with AJ. Like I said, this is pretty quick and easy, so let's get started with 2 1/4 cups or 280 grams of all-purpose flour with a teaspoon or 4 grams of baking soda, a 1/4 teaspoon or a gram of salt, and 1/2 cup of black cocoa powder. I had to order this online. You can't really find it in a lot of stores, so I will link in the description where I got this. And if you don't have black cocoa, you can just use regular cocoa powder. It is totally fine. To that, we're gonna be adding a cup or 200 grams of light brown sugar that is packed. After we whisk all of that together, here in this cup, I have 3/4 of a cup or 180 milliliters of room temperature buttermilk with a 1/2 cup or 125 milliliters of vegetable oil. We're also adding in 1.5 teaspoons or 6 grams of vanilla extract and a large room temperature egg. Now, after we whisk this together, I'm just gonna fold it a few times with a spatula to make sure it is smooth. It'll be a relatively thick batter like this. I'm gonna use a 1 3/4 inch cookie scoop. I found that this makes the size whoopie pie that I desire, but you do not have to use this exact size. You can pretty much make these whatever size you want. You want minis, go for it. You want big ones, go for it. It is totally your call. Just note, the baking time will vary depending on the size you choose to make these. These are gonna get dropped on a sheet lined with parchment paper. I'm gonna space them out about 2 inches from each other, and these are going to go into a 375 Fahrenheit or 190 Celsius oven. You want to make sure your racks are on the upper and lower thirds of the oven. About 4 minutes into the baking time, rotate the pans. So the ones that are on the top, rotate them to the bottom, vice versa, and then bake these for another like 3 to 5 minutes until they spring back when lightly touched. Now for this raspberry frosting, I have 1.5 cups, which is 3 sticks or 339 grams of totally soft unsalted butter that I'm creaming on a high speed for about 3 minutes. After it's light and fluffy, we're adding 2 teaspoons or 8 grams of vanilla extract, a 1/4 teaspoon or a pinch of salt, and a 1/2 cup or about 140 grams of raspberry preserves. Blitz that on high for another minute to make sure it is smooth, and we're gonna add 3.5 cups or 315 grams of confectioner's sugar, a 1/2 cup at a time. Mix in each addition before adding the next. Blitz it on high for a few seconds to keep this frosting really smooth. You can stop adding sugar once this frosting is the level of sweetness you prefer. So if you don't want to use the entire 3.5 cups, you absolutely don't have to. Or if you want it sweeter and you want to add more, that is totally fine. It is your call. After the frosting is nice and done, I have it in a piping bag with a large star tip. I have flipped over half of these cooled whoopie pies. We're gonna pipe frosting on those flipped halves. Once it's all piped, just gonna put the little tops on, and that is it. Beautiful and decadent. And it took every part of my being not to destroy this in like one go. But you guys, like the flavor, the black cocoa is so different than regular cocoa. It's deep, it's rich, it's delicious. That raspberry pairs so nicely with it, and I have to say these are probably something I'm gonna make a lot and have a hard time staying out of. Once again, the recipe can be found using the link in the description. Be sure to leave a thumbs up and some comments down below. Of course, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. This is one of those things where if you give it to everybody in the room will be silent. Nobody gonna have anything to talk about while they're into this, because, ooh, child.